What's up, folks? Max here, back and talking about something that I've really wanted to discuss ever since Killer Instinct has come out, and it's honestly perhaps the most next-gen thing about all of the next-gen consoles that are out right now, and it's the netcode of Killer Instinct. So some of you guys might not know that don't have an Xbox One yet or not have a chance to play Killer Instinct online. The netcode in this game is probably the most superior of any fighting game on a console ever. You can play GGPO with some 2D old-school games and get some really good connections from some really good distances, but in terms of connection quality over a 2,000-mile distance, Killer Instinct kind of blows everything out of the water, and it's insane. And you'll keep hearing reports from people that are actually playing the game online a lot, like dudes with hundreds upon hundreds of games played, that it functions extremely well, even from like the West Coast to the UK, the East Coast to Australia, and especially the West Coast to the East Coast. This is one of the biggest things that you can actually test a fighting game, is how good the connection quality is from the Western United States to the complete Eastern United States, and if it does not run well, you don't have a very good netcode of a fighting game. It's not difficult for a fighting game to provide good netcode if you're close. Generally, every single fighting game's netcode, if you're within 500 miles of playing someone, it should run freaking fantastic, and if it doesn't, that's a big issue, and it is not good. Killer Instinct kind of blows all this out of the water because the connection quality between playing people is, I kid you not, perhaps 1 frame to 2 frames of input delay, and that's barely anything compared to a game like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 where you're dealing with like 12 to 16 to 20. That's really rough, man. Other games have been pretty good. Street Fighter Cross Tekken on both consoles had pretty good netcode online. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Soul Calibur 5 integrated this special kind of netcode that actually added frame buffers in front of everything of the game, allowing like an 8-frame window or so between the Tekken Tag engine and the Soul Calibur engine that pretty much gave this freedom that felt like it was offline. So, a lot of other games have been good in the past too. Virtua Fighter on Xbox 360 was amazing even from distance, and somehow Killer Instinct manages to be really good, even though, from what I understand, the netcode was designed by one person directly with the support and help from the Canons who made GGPO, the rollback netcode that is pretty much the best stuff for fighting games, and Killer Instinct is a rollback style netcode, so you get these weird intricacies that happen every once in a while if the connection is not good. Now, there's been this thing about the bugged version of the netcode that's been going on quite a bit over the past week or so, about this dude that puts up a video talking about his experience of playing someone online, and the match is not the same from what he watches during the replay from what he played on someone else's stream. Essentially, he has a replay match and then a match from someone else's stream, and he compares the two, and the stuff is all over the place and completely off. And what this happens, or what this is known as, is pretty frequent amongst rollback games. It's called a desync. When you have rollback netcode, it very much is depending on how good the quality of connection is, how good your ping is, how good your ping is to the other person, and then it makes severe adjustments depending on the frame data of the game to make sure that the match actually runs smooth. And sometimes it goes out of whack. I've had this happen in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I've had this happen in games like, it was a huge problem in a game like PlayStation All-Stars Online. I'm not too sure if that used rollback netcode, but it happened like really frequently. And other games like Third Strike, this has happened to me, and it happened a lot in Skullgirls the first week it was out, but then eventually got fixed. And desync is totally a thing. For you guys that are familiar with GGPO rollback-style netcode or using GGPO with emulated fighting games on the PC, it's a big issue, and usually to alleviate it, you like rebooted the GGPO system and just started over. And supposedly this was a bug that has been known, was reported a little while ago at Double Helix, and they acknowledged it, that yes, there is a small desync issue that is extremely rare. I forget the number that they actually threw out, but it was like potentially 1 in 500 games played per person could actually have a desync issue, and supposedly it only happens in exhibition matches, so it doesn't actually happen in ranked, and it only happens if you rematch and rematch and rematch and rematch, but there has been some other situations. And I actually contacted them about this, because there's this other claim going on right now that if a match desyncs and it can't figure out how to sync the players up appropriately, it puts an AI opponent on the other person. And so I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That actually would take a lot of freaking programming to do that. And one of the developers immediately responded to that, and they're like, that's completely not true. There's no AI, and even if you watch the video of the guy that's actually making some claims that it looks like it's AI fighting me, well, the match actually syncs up a bit later, and they fight each other normally, and then it desyncs once again. The biggest issue, and then what you guys can do, is make sure your connection is good, because that's the reason this stuff happens. A lot of the times, if you have a wonky connection, if you're doing a lot of different things on your internet, even though for me personally that's never really happened, the netcode of fighting games is only as good as you allow it to be. And there are hiccups. Yeah, you'll get a desync every once in a while, but when it comes to like higher level competition in games, what happens during a desync is like people just don't make any sense. Like anything they do just makes absolute no sense at all. If you're playing some guy that actually knows how to play a fighting game, they will uppercut your jump-ins, they will block your jump-ins, they will counter your lows, and they're going to do things appropriately and go for throw mix-ups and like everything we know about fighting games. And they won't do any of that. It won't make any sense. They'll be jumping around randomly. It'll look like a 5-year-old took control of their controller, and it'd be kind of like, whoa, dude, what's going on? It's kind of like a questionable situation because they're not doing anything that makes any sense. And for me personally, I've played probably in combination between exhibition and ranked matches, probably close to 400 to 450 games, and I've never seen anything like this. I don't play a lot of guys that are of low rank, so it's possible that it could have happened at some point, because the bigger issue is, if you win that match, the victory screen, whoever gets to the victory first, the other match just disconnects. It just locks you out, and you just go back to the lobby screen. So all I'm saying is that Killer Instinct's netcode is something that you need to play to believe. Like, this is the future of fighting games. If there's anything that's more next-gen about any of this next-generation consoles, like I said, it's the netcode in KI, because it actually changes the way fighting games are played. And that's the big thing between graphics, between all these extra sparkles the character has, the particle effects, and all this stuff, how many more polygons you can fit into something. That's all very cool, but what next-gen needs to do is change how we play video games. And right now, Killer Instinct actually does it, because it's freaking amazing, and you have to try it. So let me know what you guys think. If you've actually run into any of these desync issues, let me know in the comments below. From what I understand, and from all the people that are higher up on the leaderboards that I've been playing frequently, no one's had any issues, and this seems to be a pretty isolated incident, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And especially with netcode of rollback fighting games, it's gonna happen. It happens every once in a while, and to be honest, GGPO style netcode has been around for almost 10 years now. And as someone who understands like how kind of netcode works in fighting games, yes, these things do happen every once in a while. The system is not completely perfect, just like your computer will crash every once in a while. Yes, your netcode might desync every once in a while. And in other fighting games, and usually if something like this does happen, it usually just kicks you out. And the situation was that the game was not proccing that to like kick you out and just end the match if something really weird is happening. And according to the Double Helix guys, they already acknowledge that this is a issue, even though a very isolated issue, they're already fixing it. So who knows? Within the first patch of Killer Instinct, I'll let you guys know what exactly they're patching and what the things they're going for. Right now, the bigger issue is that Color 5, I think it's Color 4 and 5, the one that unlocks with 50 ranked wins, is currently not working. And I have all these characters that I swear to God I have 50 ranked wins on, and their colors are not unlocking. As soon as that stuff gets fixed, I'll let you guys know. But like I said, let me know what you guys think of the Killer Instinct netcode. And do you have the same impression of me? Like, is this like the future of fighting games? Because in my opinion, dude, it's been my thing for the netcode of fighting games and playing fighting games online to preserve an online experience and praising the games that do it really well and giving them, like, you know, fair game and like, this is really good, guys. You gotta play Tekken Tag Tournament 2. It's the best online 3D fighting game out there, even though I don't play it that much beyond the launch. And I think that KI definitely deserves it because, dude, it feels that amazing. My name is Maximilian, and I will see you guys next time.